Hey everybody, welcome back to Plum Figgy. This is Tammy. So I bought myself something. I bought this. It's secondhand. I believe it's a Foxy Fix, and it's in the size personal size. And as you can see, I've filled it. But it's just the beginnings. So I thought I'd give you a quick flip through of how I set this up for myself. The one drawback that this does not have, there's no pen loop. I mean, it's got all these great little pockets and stuff, but there's no pen loop. But love these pockets in the back. I don't know. I haven't decided to use them yet. But anyway, I've got my fountain pen in here, and it does slide in there, and it's secure. It's not going anywhere, but I don't know that I want to keep it there forever because it's going to squish whatever's in there. So anyway, let me walk you through. I mean, it's just so soft. I love how chunky it is. I mean, I just love the size. But yeah, so in the front pocket here, it's a little bit bulging. I might need to remove a few things. I've just got two tags that I haven't really done anything to other than I added the toppers, and then I love this little charm that I picked up somewhere. I don't remember. Probably Hobby Lobby. And then this was some extra little lace. It's actually from a rag. What am I trying to say? It's from a handkerchief. That's what I'm trying to say. A very old handkerchief that's been hand tatted. Is this tatting? Lace. The lace is hand done, which is just gorgeous, but it was a little bit yellowed. So I went ahead and helped it along by adding some coffee to it, tea dye mixture. So it's a little bit extra special now. To be honest, I don't know that I'll ever really take these out of here because really I think I liked them the way that I had them. And the eye on that tag wasn't really overly special to me. So anyway, so there's that. I have made 4 little signatures here, all out of scraps. The only thing that's not scraps, obviously, would be the decoration on the cover here, but the covers are some Tim Holtz paper that I had. But yeah, so tucked in here, I've got some little leaves that I thought I could use to decorate with. And in this pocket, I've got a bunch of old postage stamps that I thought I could incorporate in my journals. And that great little envelope that they're in. But yeah, let me quickly flip through. So yeah, I had a whole bunch of just scrap paper sitting around. And so a lot of it was stuff like this map that you really, or this old music paper that you really couldn't write on top of. So then on top of that, I added additional scratch papers, like here's from a book page that I tea dyed, and a new book page, and it's not a great book, so I was not bothered to get rid of it or use it this way. And then throughout I added some fabric and sari silk pieces, and so this is some thick cardstock that I had tea dyed. This was interesting. This is an old piece of paper, and I used glue stick, and wherever I put the glue stick onto this yellow paper, it turned red, which was a little bit disconcerting, I'll be honest. But yeah, so you'll see there's just bits and pieces of the original paper peeking through, which I wanted to keep as much as possible, but then there's lots of writing space also. So my intent for these journals is to use them as writing journals for myself. but I also wanted to, you know, decorate here and there. So I'll just flip through this first signature fully, and then maybe go a little quicker through the others. I mean, they're all basically the same sort of thing. Nothing overly special here. I just love the size though, and how they turned out. The way I did the covers was there's two different papers for each cover, because the way that Tim Holtz is doing his papers now, I couldn't create a cover by folding anything in half. So I joined the two pieces of paper with some of his fabric washi tape, and in certain places, you can see here I've added fabric to these two. Well, this is sari silk, and then this is fabric, and then I sewed down there. I had cut his, here, let me grab a piece. So this is one of the things of washi tape that I used. So you can see it's an inch thick. So I just cut, well, I cut them the height of the cover, and then I cut them in half by using my X-Acto blade. I just had this sitting on my cutting mat and put the ruler in the halfway spot and cut down the center. But when I was putting them onto the covers themselves, I got a little crooked in some places. So then some places had like barely anything holding on to maybe one side. So that's why I had to do that. I don't know. That was a really long, drawn out explanation. But so I covered both the inside and outside. In retrospect, they're a bit stiff. Maybe what I should have done instead is just use sari silk on both sides, which would have held them together very well, but been thinner and not make them as difficult to close completely. So yeah, it was really fun just to use a bunch of scraps, you know, and I wasn't really going for any sort of, oh yeah, I had a couple more of these, so I just put them in places, so I can glue them in somewhere. What was I just saying? I wasn't going for any color scheme or anything. I mean, I guess I was. This was a full piece of 12 by 12 paper that I just liked. I just liked it. And I thought it was light enough that, you know, I could easily write on top of it and still see what I was writing. But other than that, I just used blank papers, and I guess some greens and yellows and blues, I suppose. This is some corduroy fabric, actually. And then here you can see this is just extra paper from doing some projects and stuff. So anyway, here is the next one. Little bits and pieces in there. This is the only one that I didn't cover, and mainly because I just love this Scotch tape here, and how aged it is. I did reinforce the backside with covering that, but yeah, so, and then there's another little leaf that I can use. So no pockets or anything. I think they're chunky enough, and I'll be adding more to them, to the signatures. I don't want to go crazy, but I will add more. So let me pull this out. This is a little traveler's notebook. I think this is the passport size little pocket, and I've got some Tim Holtz die cuts in here. This is like something I got from AliExpress. I got a whole box of just different musical instruments, and since I play the piano, I kept that one for myself. And then I just pulled out a bunch of different sorts of ephemera, some stickers, some labels, washi stickers, papers that I stamped on, and whatnot. So I'll just go ahead and use this along with the stuff that's in the front pockets to decorate my signatures with. And then this one, I'm going to take this one out because it's just so cool. Again, this one was the washi tape started kind of veering off, and so there's barely any here. As you can see, I probably should wrap something else around there and glue that a little bit better. So I added this, and then it was still kind of coming apart. So this was that handkerchief that I had coffee dyed, and it literally was falling apart. Like, there's a split right there that I kind of hid with just gluing it, and then there's like total rip right here where I again hid that with just gluing it. But I love this polka dot sari silk underneath. I just think it's really cool. This one might be my favorite cover. But well, since I have this one out, maybe we'll work in this one. But yeah, same sort of deal with this little signature. There's a lot of book pages in here that, you know, like the title page or chapter pages that might just have the chapter at the top and then the rest is blank. I wanted to use kind of a lot of that kind of stuff, or as much of it as I could. And then these are some labels that I got from, I think, the Your Creative Studio box that I just never really think about. Same with this. This is like a little pad. Here, let me just pull them out. So I keep those little labels in this little jar, and I never remember that I have them sitting there. And then sitting on top of it in my little cubby spot is this guy. And so this is a great thing to use for ephemera. But again, I just always kind of forget about it. But I just decided that, I guess for consistency's sake, I would use pieces of those here and there. And you can see kind of some of that. And then sometimes I kept, you know, whatever the picture was from the page. This came from a gardening book, so I love the colors on this page. This is paper bag that I painted with champagne color acrylic paint. So it's nice and shimmery and pretty looking. So anyway, oh, this was their the person whose book it was. This book belongs to, and then their name, but it was like an old cowboy image, and that's really not my style. So I peeled that off, and I kind of like how it left the four corners, so I'll work around that however I decide to work. But anyway, so I thought, oh, and then in the back here, let's see, I've got in this pocket, I just pulled out some different tags and things that I have. These are store-bought, you know. Probably would look nicer if I tea dyed them or distress stained them. And then here's a few little stickers again that I thought might be nice to add throughout here and there. So, well, since I've got these pulled out, maybe we'll use one of those. And this is tricky because the way that this is constructed, the loop, there's like a bump there, and then there's a bump here because of the snap. So I guess if I could change anything, I think I might get rid of this snap in the back, but then I don't know how else you would have fastened it. So, but I just love this journal, this little traveler's notebook. It's just kind of my fave right now. And the size, I mean, it's just so sweet. So okay, well, let's go ahead and do a little bit of collage. I think I'll just put you guys on, well, I'm gonna put on music. I might do some voiceover, and I'm just gonna kind of take it easy and do some collage on a few pages. I don't know why I shut that. I might need to get into the pockets. Yeah, I definitely will want to use some of this. So, all right.